YouTube, welcome to the 8449 update video. That's what I'm doing tonight. I've done quite a bit of work on the main layout for the track. Basically I'm now going to show you what I've done. But anyway, that's to come. I'll just do the usual layout stuff that I've been working on. Now, so what have I done? Well, as you saw in a previous video, I brought myself some coaches. Now the main reason I brought them wasn't because I needed them to sort of finish a train or anything, but it was to check that they went around corners, which is quite important. You leave enough gap and clearance. So yeah, when I started to do it, I unfortunately didn't have enough clearance in some places. Now, as you may have noticed, the wall and fence is no longer straight. Bit of a bend to it. So the reason for that was when I took my coach round the track, the back end of it would catch the wall, and it would, as in effect, pull it over, push over the wall. I'll just show you now. It goes round. There's a lot of clearance for the train to go round, which is good. It means it doesn't catch the track in the same way that it did. So yeah, that's nice. I've also, that meant having to do some more ballasting down there. You can see it's quite a bit more ballast up to the wall. Moving around, I've also done some ballasting all the way along here up to that point. That's just done the usual way. Now moving back down, I haven't done that much more on this sort of area. I've done a bit more on clearancing, checking there's enough room sort of between the shed and the track, and enough clearance into here and all that. The sort of things I could only do with the wagon, with the coaches. So basically, yeah, that's the update of what I've been doing. It's not very much because I've been doing a bit of a big job. Yeah, so I'm going to start off. Well, I'll tell you what I'm planning on doing. This area that we're looking at now is obviously you can see the old river above it. Now, if I was going to do what I wanted to do, I thought, hang on, that might look a bit odd. Trains just disappearing completely under a river. So two options. I'm either going to turn this here into a tunnel, and the entrance of the tunnel will be about here. It'll come up, quite vertically up, and then I'll have the river placed on top of it. Or, which what I'm probably going to do, is I'll build a bridge. Instead of holding a track or anything like that, it'll be a bridge that holds water. So between here and here, coming straight out till it meets the edge of the board, will just be a block of wood which will come on, connect onto here, to which I will either add the river to it, or else I'll make it into like a sluice gate or something like that. So yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing here to cover it up. I may do the same sort of thing for this road between here and here, and it'll go along on a bridge. But we'll just see, the road is less likely, but the river, I want to do something to kind of remove this sudden edge and stop, and it will just be a piece that goes from here to here. So yeah, that's sort of plan which I'm coming up with and sort of might do later on. I thought I'd better just show you this before I used it. I'm planning to just change my design slightly, and then earlier I said that I may put a siding under there. I probably will do that, which does mean that I need another right hand point. Now I only had one more point like this that was right hand. Unfortunately this is very good condition, but it's broken at the bottom. The points here are, well, broken, so I had to buy second-hand points, which were these here. Now I've given a bit of work to these ones here. Forget the fact that the plastic isn't black like it should be. That's purely dust and the fact that it's been used on an old layout before. But if I give it a little wipe with my thumb, you can see it's slightly blacker than already. But basically, I've checked the point over and it moves fine, one side to the other, very easy. All the there's no broken sleepers. All of the connections behind here are okay and all that. So I thought, fair enough, it seems to be okay. Unfortunately, it used to look like this. Just let me camera focus in on the rails. There we go. Now if you look at the rails there, they're very dirty looking. Not very shiny, very rusty, but within 5 minutes of me just doing a bit of work with just some normal sandpaper, I managed to make them look like this. As you can see, very shiny, catch the light nicely. If I put them next to each other, you can see the difference between the rails. This side here is shiny and this side here is quite dull looking. So yeah, it's all I was really showing you is that with a little bit of work from some sand, I use sandpaper to remove the rust, you're able to revive old points. So just if you see old points, just because they look old doesn't mean that they won't work. The main things you've got to check for is that there's movement, easy movement, it slides from one side to the other. There's no broken sleepers or anything. The connections here, I've got fish plates, or if they haven't got fish plates, then you can check they're easy to connect. Each one's very hard. It's always happened somebody's pulled them off. They're not broken off or anything. Finally, little thing you need to check or try and check is just in this gap there. Because there's a little bit of rust in there. I've got to remove that rust, or else there won't be a very good electrical connection between the two pieces of track. So I'm going to clean that up, and then I'm just going to carry on. Anyway, yeah, what have I actually been doing? Well, actually, I've been doing my track. It's now all stuck down in the correct place. All the clearances have been checked, and it's all there. It's all working. All the points and stuff need a little bit of work on them still to make sure they're moving freely and there's power going through them. All the way down and underneath is all okay. It's all been glued down, so there's nothing left to do. All the way back around the top and then back up to these 2 points here. Now, I have been running my DCC train around it. Unfortunately, I've got one dead piece of track. Actually, I've got 2 dead pieces of track, and they're on either helixes. And I've checked it, it's not the train, there's no power going through the track. Which I think it's something to do, there's a bit of glue in the fish plates. It's glued, and obviously it's not letting the current go through. But that's okay, as I will be building a bus wire to go between the two. And the bus wire will run underneath the whole of the track, and where the 2 pieces of dead track are, I'll draw straight down, and that'll be the one connection point to make that piece of track live. So yeah, that's how I'm going to solve that problem. So yeah, I will be trying out this train today. I brought myself a DC controller, quite an old one. I just needed one very quickly, so over the weekend I just brought a cheap one just to check this train worked. So hopefully I'll be running that train on here this evening at some point, and I may add a little bit onto the end of this video of it running. As I said earlier, I've got a few dead pieces of track, but I have checked the track all the way around, and there is power going to it. There's these 2 dead pieces of track, I think it's 2 just over there on the other side of the helix, and power comes all the way up to them and goes all the way past them, but that piece of track is actually dead itself. So power comes in from it one way and into it from the other way, but that piece is dead, which means obviously the train can't go the whole way around without it stopping. So a little bit upset that it hasn't just worked straight away, but there is always little problems you've got to fix. So yeah, what am I planning on doing? Well, obviously I'm going to carry on working on the scenery here. Possibly tonight I will be putting in my siding area on this table, and hopefully in the next few days I will be fixing down the turntable in the correct place. So that's all to come, and I'll be doing videos on that. I've been doing a little bit of thinking around here. The same goes all the way around. I will maybe do either just a black cloth or a black piece of wood in here to separate the two, hiding that hole. Or else I may turn that into a cliff face of some form, a cliff edge, something like that, to hide this gap and give a bit of detail. And underneath, this here will just be a black cloth that will be nailed or stapled all the way down and around, all the way around here to cover up the underside, and hopefully that will make it look a bit clearer, a bit cleaner. And so any pieces of wood on the side will be painted black, so you can no longer see brown. I think that just makes the rest of the layout stand out. Now, on top of all this, I'm going to be adding electrics, which will be running off a DC controller at about 8 volts. And what I'm planning on doing is having, on this station here, one at either end, and then one more right at the other end. So there'll be 4 around this area here. There may be one more attached onto a pole that will sit about here, going up to light that area, and finally there'll be one more just over there. So that'll be lighting on this area is quite basic. Now inside that house there I may place a light, just to see how it goes, just to illuminate it, and I may put one light attached to that lamppost as well to give this area a bit of light. That's the lighting sort of thing I'm going to be doing the whole way around, and it will be on sticks. Hollow metal sticks with a very small LED light in the top, all soldered in correctly, and it will either be, if I'm running DCC, it will be soldered to the track, as the track is always live, I think, and if I'm not running DCC, it'll have its own separate controller that will light it up. So hopefully when this is finished, there should be lights, and I'll do wiring and things like that. I'll do little videos on that coming up. So basically my plan is to get all the track down. When the track is down, I will then carry on doing scenery from that crack in the board there, all the way around to that crack just there, going across there, and that will all be scenery up. I then add lights and get this area almost 100% complete. Once that area is done, I'll then move backwards to cover all this stuff here. Obviously the helixes and things like that. Now that's the approximate order I'll be going in, but knowing me, I'll end up doing a bit here, a bit there, and I'll do little update videos as it goes. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any comments or anything, please leave them below, and if you haven't already, you can just check out my channel. I've got quite a few little videos in there, and I'm going to be adding quite a few more over the next few months, and quite a few around Christmas time, I would have thought, when I'm back on the holidays. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe.